I've had a few of you reach out to me recently asking me some questions about what I've done to my mini bike frame. I figured I would make a quick video talking about some of the modifications I've made. I guess I'll start by saying that it began its life as a Manco Streaker. It came with a 4 horsepower Subaru engine. It was fast enough for kids riding around in a backyard. But I'm not a kid and I'm not riding it in a backyard. So I decided it needed a little more power. Unfortunately, adding more power to it with the original frame wasn't going to work out so well. The wheelbase was extremely short, and I didn't feel like looping it every time I hit the gas. So one of the first things we did was stretch the frame roughly 12 inches. I decided to go a different route than most people. I see a lot of people just welding on extension tabs to the back of their frame. I decided to add more tubing, hopefully to give it more structure, more strength. And then I went ahead and machined up some axle plates and got them welded in. We relocated the rear fender. We added this 1/4 inch plate in here to give it structure across the area where we added frame. Amazon supplied us with this cool Springer motorcycle seat. We ditched the springs and just went ahead and hard mounted it. I did my best bending this tubing to kind of wrap around the seat itself. It turned out all right. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the bend quite perfect in the back, but I don't mind. It acts as a really good handle. Another thing we did in the back here was add a slick tire. We went ahead and changed the rear sprocket to get our gearing a little bit closer to where we would like it. As you can see, we're still running the scrub brake system. I really enjoy the scrub brakes. They always just seem to work. I've had issues with other hydraulic and cable systems, but the scrub brakes never let you down. I was happy that I added this structural plate in here because it gave me a really nice spot to mount my chain roller / tensioner. That was something I whipped up at work. It does its job very well. Oh yeah, can't forget the proudly made in USA sticker. Now on this build, we are still running the original fuel tank off of our Predator 224. It's just been remote mounted with some rubber coated straps up on top of our frame here. For now, it does the job. And honestly, I don't really mind how it looks. But one day, we will probably get a spun aluminum tank for it. Now that we extended the frame another roughly 12 inches, we had to modify our scrub brake linkage. I ended up going with some aluminum hex stock for the connecting linkage, and I'll tell you what, it looks pretty trick and it works great. Another modification we made to our frame would be the motor mount plate. When I stripped the original bike down, one of the first things I did was completely cut out the original motor plate. It was thin, flimsy, and not to mention the slots were not in the right spot for my Predator 224 to line up with the rear sprocket. I decided just removing the entire thing was the best option. We then added a 1/4 inch thick cold rolled steel plate, nice big slots, and actually 2 positions for motor mounting, one more forward and one more rearward. I do use the rearward position, but if need be, it could always go to the forward position. After getting that plate welded in, I decided I better get some jack bolts for my engine, front to back, side to side, to help keep the engine straight and the chain taut. A lot of times, if you don't have your mounting bolts tight enough, your engine will move a little bit under hard acceleration. These jack bolts are just a little bit of added security, confidence. I don't have to worry about my engine sliding sideways front to back or getting crooked in the frame. We're running the existing foot pegs. I don't love them, I don't hate them. They kind of are what they are. If you look up here in front of the fuel tank, I did add some plating on the frame. We have a kill switch here and a tachometer we installed. We also have some more steel plating on the front of the frame down here. It's just hoping to give it a little more structural support. That seemed to be a pretty good home for our oil catch can, so that's where it ended up. Unfortunately, we don't have our motor in here right now, but I figured, considering that, it would be a good time to show you everything that we've done without the motor being in the way. If we move up here to the front, these are the original front forks from the Manco Streaker. I decided to go ahead and get rid of the tops of the bars. I just went ahead and cut them off. I then welded on a little heavier plate here on top of the existing plate, and we mounted some bar risers and these pretty cool handlebars. I think they look all right. I see a lot of people running straight drag bars, which look really sick as well, but these handlebars were what I had, so it's what I used. Another thing I noticed on some of my test rides was the front forks were a little, I don't know what you would want to call it, wobbly. I could feel them flexing. So I decided to add a few structural support pieces here. It really stiffened up the front end. I'm happy with it. Again, on the front, we had to relocate the front fender. And I actually cut it a little short. I kind of like it stubby like that. I made this cool number plate out of some sheet aluminum. It doesn't have a number on it yet, but it will eventually. Now, looking at our front wheel, this is a Amazon special. That's a 10-inch wheel. I don't really have any complaints with it yet. Same thing with the tire, another Amazon special. It looks good, seems to spin fairly true. Like I said, no issues with it yet. Overall, I think the mini bike turned out pretty good. If we look here, this bracket is part of my chain guard assembly. The rest of it mounts to the engine, so it's not on there right now. But the tabs off the frame here were existing for the original chain guard on the Manco Streaker. I just kind of utilized them and built a chain guard off of it. See if we can get you a good view here. Luckily, here in Northwest Ohio, we actually have a pretty nice day today, so I figured I'd come out and give you guys a quick look. In the next few days, we're going to get our Wildcat big valve head, roller rockers, and a few other parts and get them installed in our Predator 224 engine, get it back up and running. Unfortunately, the last time we had this thing out, we dropped a valve in the head and broke a whole lot of stuff. But that's the way she goes. Heck, rebuilding it's half the fun, right? All right, let me know if you guys have any more questions or comments. I'll be happy to help out with anything you guys might need. And I'll see you in the next video.